Hello plant friends. So we are starting a new tour with Darylen. Darylen went all in on plants during quarantine. So plant YouTube, plant Instagram, plant shop, give her a follow and support her. Also, if you guys are enjoying the content, enjoying these tours, consider becoming a Patreon. And also thank you for all my current Patreons for, supporting. All right, let's go. Okay, all right, I'm going to awkward introduction. Go.
Hey everybody, it's Darylen from Plant Friend down the street. Welcome to my mini La Jolla jungle.
Let's talk about your place first.
Sure.
So I see it's a low light place.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, very, very low light. And do you do a lot of grow lights?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mess around with natural light anymore. Lost that battle a long time ago.
Are these curtains normally open or do you normally close them during the day?
I usually keep the sheer curtains closed just because we're on the first floor and I don't like people being able to see in here, but I do usually keep the blinds open.
Let's just start with this side of things. Let me see if I can position myself correctly.
Sure.
Okay, talk about some of the plants that you sort of have
here?
here on your kitchen counter.
So this is an Anthurium regale. I just had to bring it out here because it had been in my grow tent. And one of the leaves started to kind of do some funky things. So I was thinking maybe it was just not enough airflow in there, but I actually think that this is just damage from moving things in and out of the grow tent.
What do you like about the regale? That's one of the anthuriums that I feel popularity ebbs and flows a little bit.
Yeah, it is a really kind of one of those things that's really hit or miss. When they look good, they look incredible.
Yeah.
When they look bad, they look horrible.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
Okay. I guess so.
No?
Okay.
That's fine. I just need to make sure I don't. Okay, yeah, I think they're beautiful. I also just put it into ponds, so it's probably acclimating, but they're definitely not a set it and forget it type of plant. You really have to stay on it because they can get little fungal spots, little bacterial spots. They really need good airflow.
Yeah, I feel like for these guys, because their leaves are so big, at least they can get so big, a lot of times they just, any damage that they get coming out gets magnified so much because they grow so big, right? So
yeah.
I think that's the thing I find with them.
Well, this leaf was perfect when it came out, but yeah, I mean, for me, with all my Anthurium now, when I see a new leaf coming out, I just put them in the grow tent and let the grow tent deal with that, and then they pop them out, and then I take them out, and that's kind of how I've been approaching it. But this Albo, I just love this. This is my smallest one.
Ooh.
But
yeah, that's great.
This is the one I've had the longest, and I just love this leaf. It's just such a unique.
Oh yeah, I really like it when the leaves are like this. It's not quite sectorial, a little bit sectorial, a little bit marbling, yeah.
This one's fun because it kind of gives me everything. I get the full marbled leaf. I get, kind of a half moon marbling. I get sectorial.
Did you buy it as this little small thing here?
So I bought it as the stem propagation, and it had 3 little leaves on it. It had the teeny tiny baby leaf. It had one slightly bigger leaf, and then it had this leaf on it.
Okay.
And this was really the only leaf that I had to decide.
That's actually a very good leaf to start with a small plant, because you see how much green that is. That's a good leaf to have.
Yeah. I did feel like I was kind of taking a bit of a risk though, because it was from a batch of plants where all of the other plants were putting out fully reverted leaves. You're right, it's good because this gave it a really good start, but also the stem on it looked really, really good. And fortunately, the seller did post pictures of the stem.
Oh, good, yeah.
And so with this good, balanced variegation, I felt pretty confident that I had a good chance of getting a really stable plant.
Yeah, looks great.
Thank you. This plant eventually may be a mother plant. I haven't decided yet, but this melanochrysum has just been my absolute problem child.
I mean, it doesn't look very problematic. It looks great.
Oh, well, don't zoom in. It's just been... Everybody knows that melanochrysum get this reputation for being easy, and then people just have nothing but issues with them.
Mine hasn't died.
That's half the battle.
Is all I can really say about it.
I mean, I've had, leaf puncturing themselves. I've had killing off leaves. It's had thrips twice, which was wonderful.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to keep the leaves as like pristine as this. Usually you kind of get... See, this is like a very common leaf for me right here.
Yeah.
Like a little spot that, got roughed when the leaf was growing and unfurling. And then I always get these like dots as well,
Yeah. I thought that was some damage from the thrips because it showed up around the same time, but some people were telling me that they think it's bacterial or fungal. So I'm gonna start treating it with copper fungicide, and then alcohol and soap solution sometimes will work.
Yeah.
But once you have this damage, I mean, it's not going away. All you can do is hope that the newer growth looks better.
Yeah, I think overall the good thing is that it is growing, and you kind of have a good new leaf coming out there.
Yeah, I said that I wanted to grow this plant to the ceiling, and it was like, okay, say no more. Got you. I'm gonna have to move it onto the floor soon so that it can keep going.
Yeah. No, it's a great size. The leaf size has been consistent as well, so it's great.
It's getting there. This little one here is cuttings from it. And it did the thing when I got it where it put out like tiny leaves for a long time, and I think it was just a root ball. You really got to give them time to build up the root ball.
So this was like a cutting from the top of the other one. Yeah.
All three of the bottom leaves were from that plant.
Yeah. So this is what happens to a lot of people, is that you kind of get a good leaf or a big leaf from the cutting, and then the other ones are a little bit smaller. But not too much smaller.
Yeah, well, this one had thrips. That's why it's like really, like that's what thrips damage looks like on a melanochrysum. Everybody's getting thrips this year though, because I think there's just a lot of growers that are new to the game that don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful. Yeah.
Sweet.
But eventually, once we have a greenhouse, this is just going to go in the greenhouse, and I'm not taking it out till it forms a caterpillar.
You water propagate as well.
I do, yeah. That's Philodendron silver stripe. Those take forever to root.
Like forever as in months?
Yeah. Forever. Yeah. I think those have probably been in there a couple weeks, but they'll get to it eventually.
How often do you change your water?
Every couple days.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also find adding hydrogen peroxide to the water to be extremely helpful with propagating.
Oh. Yeah.
Because it just really oxygenates the water. And you can do a similar thing by putting in like a bubbler.
Yep. Yeah.
For like an aquarium.
Yeah.
But hydrogen peroxide works too.
I've stopped changing out my water.
Yeah?
I just leave it there for like months, and it gets, gets junky.
Yeah.
But it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's definitely the most lazy.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of depends what you're propagating. Like, I would not do that for anything variegated.
Yeah. But
that's
kind of what I do for everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I would not give it as a recommendation. I'm just saying that it's something that I do, and that's that. What is this guy? The mahogany?
That's an alocasia black velvet.
Black velvet, dang it.
Yeah. That's just like, these plants in here are mostly just my like personal plants that are not super duper exciting, and those are just some pothos that are purely there for aesthetic purposes to just kind of take up space, but...
Yeah, I mean, I like these sort of set it and forget it plants.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have to like think about it too much.
I mean, that freaking golden pothos got thrips, and I had to think about that a lot.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind.
That's the thing about, common plants. Like, you have to treat them. Yeah. It's equal opportunity for pests. You can't just treat, your expensive ones. If you're going to have a plant, you got to do it.
What's been your experience with these these head army grow lights?
I like them. I like that they don't, you'll see in the other room I have some more of them. I like that they don't get too hot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They don't get hot, so you can have them really close to your plants. I mean, this one is only, I don't know, maybe a foot away from this elbow, and it's got like a big white section on it, and you can see there's no browning.
Yeah.
So I really like them for that. They're pretty energy efficient. They're really affordable.
Mm-hmm.
And it does give you the flexibility to just kind of angle them wherever. You know, if I decide that I want to give the pothos some light, I can just swing it around.
Yeah.
But they're not the most aesthetic. You know,
Right.
Ideally I would have a skylight or something
Yeah,
and not have to manually
Right.
adjust. But
Yeah, I think that's a good way to like describe them. They're not ideal for most people, and
Yeah.
as plant lights, they're not usually ideal. There are better alternatives, but they are cheap, like you said, and low energy, very cost efficient, energy efficient. Yeah.
they're not gonna burn your plants either.
Yeah.
Like the more kind of high end plant lights, they're really high power.
Yeah.
And so if I had some of those more high powered ones that close to that plant, it would not be
Yeah.
perfect the way
Yeah.
it looks.
Yeah, you can have your risk of light stressing your plants is quite low with these head arm or whatever lights. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I recommend them to people who are, you know, beginner plus,
Mhm.
who have plants and they don't want to deal with the dance that comes with natural light. They get the job done just fine.
Yeah.
My experience for me.
Yeah, and you can also angle them so that it doesn't really annoy your eyes.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. At this point, I don't even really see them unless I, you know, have to go over here and like they're in my way or whatever. But it was a bit of an adjustment when I first put that light up there, and I was like, whoa, it's so bright.
All right, let's go to your room.
All right, let's go take a look at the good stuff.
Okay.